In most homes across the world, chicken is a healthy delicacy. It is also regarded as a very healthy diet because it is basically lean meat. So today on Community Reports on Channels Television, I'm Victoria Ido, by the way, we're drawing our attention to poultry farming. As you know, that's where chicken comes from, right? Poultry production in Nigeria amounts to 454 billion tons of meat and over 3.8 million eggs per year. Welcome to the show. The journey for us starts at our office in Isheri in the wee hours of the morning. We journey through the Abeokuta Expressway, going through the bad roads, traffic bumps, and finally, we arrive. First, our bus is disinfected before it's allowed into the farm settlement. It took us approximately 3 hours to arrive at this location in Ewekoro area of Lagos State, the Zion Firms Association of Nigeria in Gudugba, just a few meters away from Abeokuta. At this farm settlement, their focus is poultry and piggery farming, and that's what they do. We're here to find out how they have fared through the COVID-19 pandemic and how they're faring still through it right now. I'm meeting with Mr. Adeyemi. He is the chairman. We're supposed to be socially distant, so
You're welcome to Zion Farmers Association of Nigeria, opposite Gudugba in the local government. We are glad to meet you here. These are our entrance gates.
thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
A group of farmers coming together is not a new venture. It's been going on for such a long time, and this community is no different.
Okay, Zion Farmers Association was formally registered in the year 2003 as a cooperative society in Ogun State. And we are a group of farmers. We are mainly into three products: poultry, piggery, and fishery. And we are about 200 farmers inside this place, everyone doing his own business. We have some that are specialized in poultry, some only in piggery, some into fishery, while some combine the two. Okay, out of that, about 200, at least 50% are into both poultry and piggery, while the remaining 50 are into only piggery. We have very few, about just 5% or even 4% that are into fishery. See, like for poultry, ranges from those who are from 1,000 to 20,000. Individual like that, they have their own farm. Okay, from 1,000, 2,000, some have 3, at least up to 20,000. We have someone there, about 2 people that have almost about 20,000 on their farms here. While the piggery also, they are, we have some from 100, let's say from 100 pigs and above.
There are a bounty of options when it comes to picking the right poultry for a farm. Each variety brings its own unique needs and benefits.
Some are into broilers, some are into layers, while some are into maybe cockerel, only raising cockerel. Okay, so it depends on which one is going to. If you are going to layers, you can start from brooding level. Okay, from day-old chicks. Okay, you brood them, then you put them into cage. Okay, at the point of cage. Okay, and you raise them until they start laying. While we have some that are doing broilers. Okay, they start from day old and they sell at maybe 7 weeks and above.
Breeding of a day-old chick, which are newly hatched chicks, are gotten from hatcheries and transferred to where they will be housed and fed to provide broiler chickens or laying hens.
We have hatcheries around us. In Abeokuta, we have in Ibadan. That's where we get our day-old chicks. We bring them to the farm, then we brood them. Okay, they stay in brooding stage for about 12 weeks. Then we transfer them to the cage for those that are rearing layers. But for broiler, they brood them for about 6 to 7 weeks, depending on the specification from the buyer, and they start selling.
Chicken breeds are developed for different purposes. They're therefore placed in 3 different categories: laying, meat-producing, and dual-purpose breeds.
We have the one for eggs and we have mainly for meat. And actually, what I focus on is mainly on egg production. And we have different type of breed for that. And presently, we have Isa Brown on the farm presently. And we started from day old, which was being gotten from Chief Farm in Ibadan, actually. And presently, they are about 12 weeks old presently.
Taking care of the day-old chicks, some factors need to be considered, like location, temperature, feeding, and also vaccines.
Day-old chicks are just like babies. So what you do mainly is you take care of them as if you are taking care of a new baby, in the sense that you don't expose them to much cold because of their fragile nature as a day-old. So what we do mainly is actually to provide an heat source for them, which actually helps them to maintain a steady temperature, which is actually being done mainly over the night. And from there, actually what we do is just provide them the heat source, good water, and then feed.
For health reasons, we are only able to see the chicks from outside.
Then also you dip your leg into here before we enter, but presently we don't allow people in presently.
Getting to our new chicken farm, we're made to wear the overall and, of course, wash our hands. This farm here has a 9,000 capacity with about 8,000 eggs per day.
Okay, we don't normally rear our layers from day old here. We buy it from their point of lay, which is 16 weeks. We buy them, feed them daily on a daily basis. We give them the necessary drugs. So that's all we do here. We feed them on a daily basis. We pack their litters daily as well. And when they started laying, we start from 0%, moving upward to their peak and to decline stage as well.
Caring for laying chickens and broilers are not so different.
The operation is similar. The only difference is that you feed them on daily basis, you pack their eggs on daily basis, and you sell. Compared to others like broiler, you feed them for some months, depend on the demand and who you want to sell to, and you sell them, you get your profit. Unlike layers, you feed them on daily basis, you pick their eggs, sell, you get your profit daily.
Laying hens lay 1 egg on a 24-hour period. Their feeding, therefore, should be taken seriously.
When we get them at 16 weeks, we have to feed them like 3 to 4 weeks again before they started laying. When they started, they will be at 0.something%, moving up gradually till they get to peak. Some will get to 90, 95, some will get to 80 plus, depending on the quality of the birds and the management. So before they get to decline stage, so their production will be coming down gradually until they get to spent layer, where they won't be, their production will not be up to what they consume. They might consume like 4 bags per day, and the yield, the eggs that you get from them will not be up to the cost of the feed. So before they get to that stage, we need to sell them and replace them with another set.
The major source of income for these farmers are the monies made from the eggs laid.
A crate of eggs sell $8.50 before now, but now we are selling at $7.50.
The quality of the egg is greatly affected by the management of the chicken. How then do you identify a good egg?
If you want to know the quality of egg, first thing is you check the shell. It will be a deep brown shell, and the shape will be a round shape, not like a flat or so. Any form of disformity means the quality is not up to standard. And from the yolk as well, you can know from the yolk will be a deep yellow, and the white part of the egg will be elastic. It won't separate. The yolk will be there and the white egg will be there as well. It won't be mixed up. It won't be watery. The white egg will be elastic, not watery.
Feeding is very important as well as very expensive.
Once you serve, you need to use your hand to spread the feed so that it will be evenly distributed.
Water is also vital for their growth and development. That's why pipes have been laid so the chickens can have access to it at every time of the day. Tell me about your farm. Still properly robed, we meet Kemi. She has been into the poultry business for about 4 years now.
I started with 360 birds. I rented the pen down there before I now got this place. So that was how I started.
She tells us how the COVID-19 has affected sales so much the farm suffered.
During the pandemic, there's no sales. There's glut. So we have to move the eggs down to our customers. So that's how we've been doing it. So we have to reduce price for them. In a short time, the field they increase their price. Have you seen that? It won't be really easy for us. And ever since then, we've not increased the price of the egg. So that's just the challenges. And besides the road, capital, all those things.
Going into the pen, we have to disinfect our feet or the entrance.
Yes, it's just to sanitize. As you're coming in now, you have to use it to sanitize your shoe before, because of disease, infection. Okay. So that's why you have to put water here for infection. To avoid infection.
Egg glut occurs in a period when eggs are surplus or in abundance with low purchase or demand. This occurred during the lockdown caused by the COVID-19 pandemic.
When we have gluts, we have to move the eggs to our customer. Because sometimes, when there is no glut, they can come down here to pick their eggs. So when there is glut, we have to move it to every Lagos, Songo, anywhere, just to make this. And we have to reduce price. Are you getting it? We have to reduce price so that the eggs will go. Sometimes we sell on credit just to move it. Egg doesn't stay for a long time before it gets spoiled. So it depends. Sometimes it depends the feed you are using. But for this feed I'm using, it can stay for like 2 months. If there is ventilation, we won't put them where there is heat. If there is ventilation, we can stay for 2 months. Well, we don't pray for that. For egg to stay for 2 months is not really okay. But some egg doesn't stay for 2 months. So that is just it.
Some common diseases noticed on the farm are usually taken care of with antibiotics.
The diseases they have, there was a time we have a problem. That should be about 2 years ago. But it was feed issue. So I don't really know what went wrong with feed. So the birds started developing, what do they call it? Coryza. They were just sleeping, their eyes were just big, something. So we started using drugs on them. Sometimes we'll call our vet doctor. Sometimes we'll call doctor from where we are getting feed from, just for them to come and see. When they look at them, they can call their doctor to come and check for what is wrong with the birds.
At some point during our conversation, we see a couple of chickens peck on another.
We have to remove you. Can we do that? Can we?
Yes, let's remove it first.
Okay.
I'm feeling for it.
Yes.
I'm feeling for it.
Yes.
So how did it? Please, did they just peck it to have?
Yes, they peck.
And we get an explanation for their actions.
Some are aggressive. There's some that is aggressive among them. Like this one that are pecking the other one. They are just, when you put another box there, they can still start pecking that one. Are you getting it? So some of them, they are aggressive.
In recent times, the use of antibiotics have gradually reduced and is being replaced with the use of some organic product. But using it for her comes with some hesitation.
Really, I'm trying it, but I don't want to try it with this one. I'm trying when I get chicks. Let me try with those one. A set of birds. Let me see how it works. But they said I heard that it works well. It works, and you won't spend much money on these antibiotics. You get this, but with that organic, it will help you to save money. I'm planning towards that because I'm expecting some chicks. So I'm trying, maybe I will use them as experiments on organic. Let me now see the one that will work for me best. Yes.
According to the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, poultry production in Nigeria amounts to up to 445 billion tons of meat and about 3.8 million eggs per year, with a standing population of 180 million birds. About 80 million chickens are raised in extensive system, 60 million in semi-intensive system, and at about the remaining 40 million in intensive systems.
Okay.
On a daily basis, Kemi has been able to divide her responsibilities between herself and her son to make the job faster.
I work with my son. He's just like a manager here. He comes before me. So you have to open the place. So the workers they feed, the worker will work. Later, I will come and join them and monitor what they've done. And being I'm in sales, let's say sales department, I monitor that one ahead. So he monitor feeding, packing of the list, taking care of them. When we want to minister drug, I do, because I have to be there to see what they do, especially vaccine, anything vaccine. I monitor it. I don't give it to anybody to do for me. I do it myself.
This is where the government comes in.
We need capital. When a farmer gets capital, he will be able to produce. And when there is production on ground, when we have hands to somebody to help or the government to help us, definitely the egg will move. It will be in a higher place, because when you look around here, it's personal capacity that we are doing. So everybody here is just on your own, you do your things on your own. But when we have people that support us, let's say our government, during the pandemic, if government should help us move the egg, I believe that there is some places that they need eggs. But because we can't move, there's nothing we can do about it. Many farms, they buried eggs. Yes, they did. But if government can support us with capital, because we need capital, that is just what can move the business.
In every farmland, waste management is usually a big issue.
We have some place that we are dumping it there, and sometimes this normal lamb, they do come around to bag it and take it to north.
We move around a bit to see what the whole community looks like. A lot of development is required here. Like we already said, eggs from the hens raised majorly for egg productions, but chickens that are raised for meat are called broilers. These chickens are typically white and bred special for optimal health and size to produce a quality product for the consumer.
And we feed them roughly like 3 times daily. On day old, we normally feed with broiler starter for 2 to 3 weeks. From 3 weeks, we play them on finisher. And we have a special feed we use for them. That is the pelletized feed. It's a bag feed we buy from the markets to feed the birds.
Broiler chickens are raised in large open structures called houses, where they can roam, explore, and also commune amongst other chickens. The chickens arrive at the farm at the same time from the hatchery to maintain biosecurity on the farm.
They start from broiler starter. Even today, we don't go with broiler starter. We go for, you see, from day old. It's better you go on this. I've forgotten the name. I will remember before the end of this. Then later, we go for broiler starter. We take you 3 weeks. From the 3rd week, you go on to finisher. Is that finisher they will take till they are all sold out. The lifespan is just 6 to 8 weeks. So by that 6 to 8 weeks, they are ready for table.
Feeding the chickens are what makes them healthy, gain weight, and ready for sale.
Major difference is that the nutritional content of this feed is higher than that one. Basically, you know, the layers on the other type, the match feed, the nutrients are mixed together, but this one are in a tablet form. So as they are taking one of the tablets, the feed, they are taking all the nutrients, the nutritional component of the feed.
Getting the broiler chicken from a day-old cost about 300 Nigerian naira. This could be very expensive for the farmer.
The cost of day-old is just too much. Now it's 300 and something, if not 400. So, and how much are you selling it? It's about 600 per kg. That's the highest for now. 600 per kg, live weight. So, when you start from day old at 360, imagine. So, when it's at 6 weeks and we are selling for 600 per kg, I think you can see what is here.
A major competition for these farmers are the imported frozen chickens, which affects their sales a great deal.
There's just no need for importing chickens. As far as I know, there is no point importing, because we have the capacity. We really have it. Let them try us. We really have the capacity to produce, even Africa. Yes, we have the capacity. If anywhere there is a big farm, like we have here, give us frozen facility. Give us light. If you don't, yes, give us light. Give us frozen facility. And you will be surprised what we can do. Be our off-taker. Come, collect the birds. We have it, and we can do it.
There are stages in disease management on broiler chickens, which could be nipped early.
We have different type of vaccine. Let me just mention one. We have Marek vaccine, which is usually be given at day old, because at day old. Though the hatchery actually give them, but you know we cannot tell. So we actually give them again, or we give them again as soon as we get them over to the farm.
Using organic treatments have become popular, and this farmer testifies that it's cheaper.
I started organically with them. It's just at the later end. I started with, we are already into it here. Yes, we have everything we need organically. Even that cocci I told you about, I don't go to buy any drugs for cocci. I use organic, and it works without any doubt. And it works faster, better, cheaper, and you won't believe it. And it's very simple. It's all the leaves you use, the material you use is all around us. Very easy.
Community farming offers many benefits to farmers who want to practice sustainable agriculture and to communities who want fresh, healthy, and locally produced food. That's why improvement in the agricultural sector is imperative. it's been a pretty long day. I'm holding one broiler and I feel really good because I was scared at first. Well, hey, it's not that bad, is it? Anyway, that's all we have for you today on Community Report on Channels Television and Victoria Ido. As it feels really heavy, that means they have actually fed this thing really seriously, and I don't know how long they've been feeding. They have a 6 weeks period where they can then be sold. So I believe that if we're able to patronize our homegrown chickens and hens, it will go a long way to improve our poultry industry. That's Community Report this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you missed any parts of the show, you can check it on our YouTube channel. You can also send your comments to the social media handles showing on your screen. Till I come to a community next to you, be good and stay safe. Yee! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!